Welcome to the Ambitious Coach Podcast. This is a place where driven, determined coaches learn how to get off the business growth struggle bus and learn how to build a wildly profitable online coaching business. I'm your host, Allison Henderson, corporate dropout to six-figure social media business coach. I'm going to show you how I've been able to create the business of my dreams organically, all through utilizing my social media platforms. So pull up a seat, take some notes, and get ready to see your life and bank account transform. Hello. I'm so pumped for this week's episode because it is focusing on one of my favorite topics, content. I have a love-hate relationship with content. Some days it's fun and I'm super excited to do it. And other days I'm like, WTF, like, what do I even post today? How should I post it? Do I really need to create content? Right? Like, you probably feel me on this. Like, and this is the thing, it's completely normal. Welcome to entrepreneurship. I'm sure you can relate to this on some level. Like, some days you're super into it and others it's like pulling teeth to get it done. However, it is something that is a must do for your business growth. And it's something that you can get really, really good at. So I don't really want you putting this on the back burner anymore. I want you learning how to be good at creating content. I want this to feel natural and fun for you. I want you having probably like more good days than bad days when it comes to creating content. And the more that you do it, the easier it does get. Okay. It's like putting reps in. You just got to put those reps in so that they feel good. All right. And you're going to get into your own groove. All right. And because I know this is one of the biggest struggles for most entrepreneurs and content creators and coaches and consultants, I will be hosting a free content creation workshop here in the next few weeks. So please, if you're not already on my email list, get on my email list and also follow me on my stories. Okay. This is where I post a ton of my content and telling you what I have coming up. So follow me on my Instagram stories. Registration will be open here in the next few days. And it's, once again, a free event, a free content event. And it's just going to be called the Content Creation Workshop. Okay. All right, so let's get into this week's episode. I'm going to be sharing with you more of my money-making content tips so that you can get more people messaging you about your services. And because I know that it does take you a lot of time and a lot of effort to create this content. I mean, just think of all the things that you have to do. Create the graphics, writing the caption, recording the video, and you might be recording it like 100 times before you're like, okay, that was right. And even just like opening the app and posting it, like putting in the hashtags, all the things, like there is a lot of time and effort that is involved. So with that being said, I want to make sure people are actually watching and reading your posts. And what a flippin' shame, right? Like, it might have taken you an hour or maybe 2 hours. And then like, bam, you post it and then you hear nothing. No likes, no comments, no one's DMing you, and nothing's happening. So of course, I don't want this happening to you anymore. I want your content to be the thing that does the heavy lifting for you. I want your content to be the thing that convinces people that you are the coach or that consultant for them. I want people messaging you and booking sales calls with you just because they saw your post. Your content is one of the biggest puzzle pieces when it comes to getting your clients from social media. Your content is for helping people, right? But also your content is for you to help people in making that decision to buy from you. Okay. You are the marketer. You are a marketer here. It's time you start thinking and acting like one. And I know you probably didn't sign up to, like, it wasn't a part of the job description to be a sales and a marketer, right? Like, you probably didn't realize that that was something that was supposed to be a part of your job description. But yes, you are a marketer, and I want you knowing how to use your content to get people to take action into working with you. All right. So the first thing and the most important thing that you'll need to be focusing on when it comes to your content creation is your headline. All right. This is the first thing your audience sees when they come across your content. This likely is one sentence or phrase that is compelling and intriguing to your ideal client. I want this to be, I call it scroll stopping. All right. I want this to be something that they literally go, I have to read this now. Right. So scroll has officially stopped. All right. And likely this headline is a question, a thought, a belief, or just a sentence that they probably said that day, or maybe it was inside their head. Like, what is something that they're afraid to say out loud? Right. This could be even from you, like a radical opinion or a belief that you have that's maybe about like a controversial topic in your industry. It might just go against the norm, if that makes sense. Okay. You almost just want them to go, oh my God, I was just thinking this, or I just said this to my partner today, or this looks juicy. I hate when people say that, but like, oh, this looks juicy. I better read it. All right. You almost want to really just think about that little voice that's inside their head. You want that to be your voice, right? Like you're taking literal thoughts from their head and posting and creating content about them. So this headline has to be one of the main focuses, the main focus points when you are creating your own content. If your audience isn't compelled to read it, then guess what? No one will read it. And once again, this is a complete shame because you just spent a ton of time creating it. And when no one watches it or no one reads it, it doesn't feel good, right? And I don't want this to happen to you anymore. All right. So please spend some time creating magazine type headlines. So think about even like your local news channels or BuzzFeed, the blog posts that you see on Facebook or Instagram or all these things. It's like they spend time creating a headline that will get you to click. It'll get you to tune in to watch more and consume more of their content. So I help my clients with this daily. Okay. I want you getting so good at creating headlines and content that you have people messaging you. This is really important. Okay. This is the goal, right? You want people to message you about your services. So you want to take somebody who's a follower or a stranger, right? Or somebody that's just a part of your audience and turn them into a paying client. And your content can do that. Your content can help people make that decision that you are the coach for them. Once again, this is a skill. This is something that you can learn. This is something that doesn't have to be something that you like dread every single day. All right. So I don't want you to rush the headline. So take some time on this and just think like, would my ideal client really want to read this or watch this? Why is this relevant or compelling to them? Does this help solve a problem in their everyday life? What is a thought they literally had today? So you are creating content for people who know they have a problem and they're looking for a solution to this problem. Okay. So once again, you are always creating content for people that know they have a problem and they're looking for a solution to that problem. You are the solution. Okay. Remember that you are the solution. You need to make them see that. And you can do that through your content. I really want you positioning yourself as that authority, as that specialist, that go-to expert. I want people consuming more and more of your content. I want people to literally like you. Like, I want people to fall in love with you. Sharing your thoughts about your industry or just things that are happening in your everyday life can be incredibly comforting to your audience. When they can relate to you and they have, say, similar beliefs or even just lifestyle choices, or they just want something that maybe you have in your everyday life, this can be compelling, incredibly compelling to your audience. So this is why, like, when people say be authentic, like why this is so important, right? Being you, sharing your weird, sharing your thoughts. It's okay to be you. And you likely want to work with people who have a very similar mindset to you. They're similar to you in some way or another. Okay. So another common mistake, I don't want to say it's a mistake, but just a common thing that I see in content creation a lot is people are using words that their audience does not understand, like using industry jargon or just common words that are not in their, like your ideal client's everyday world yet. Okay. They're in your everyday world, but they're not in your clients or your ideal client's everyday world. All right. So this is just another way that someone's going to be skipping over your content. And we don't want that. Remember. Okay. So I see this a lot. I work a ton with sleep consultants and I see this a lot where their headlines are using words like wake windows, rescue naps. What's another one? Like false starts, cluster feeding. Guys, I'm not a sleep consultant. So please don't have me explain these to you. But like I see words like this often, and likely to a common everyday mom, like once again, depending on your ideal client, she isn't using these words. Okay. So we can't expect our audience to get curious about it. Like, oh, I wonder what this is all about. Let me just read it. They're probably not going to do that. All right. So, and I even know when I first had a baby, I have two kids. You guys probably know that at this point. I have two kids. I wasn't walking around being like, I wonder what a wake window is, right? Like your headline could be more like, let's see, like your baby is waking up every hour. And this might be why. Or your baby fell asleep in the car for 15 minutes. What do you do? Or what can you do? Or 5 reasons your baby isn't taking long naps. Right. So sometimes like we have to find buzzwords. Once again, like I would probably even open up a magazine, go to like a website that is constantly trying to get you to click on posts. Look at what kind of words and what kind of headlines are using in those headlines. Okay. Anyway, I hope you get my point. I don't want you to expect your audience to get curious because we're moving so fast on social media and there's so much content out there. It's important that you are standing out. And how you are going to stand out is by creating relevant content, to the point content that your ideal client is actually going to read and understand. Okay. Storytelling and personal posts are great too. Okay. We love being told a story. And I don't want you should just focus on like the how-to type of content, right? Like, or just like those educational posts. People do need that, but that can't be the sole focus of your content creation. People do need to get a chance to know you. Who is behind the business? Remember, people are buying you at the end of the day, right? So I want you writing like you talk, using language that they can understand, using terminology that they can immediately get. There's no real reason to be like overly intelligent or fancy with your wording. You just need to be clear. Okay. You need to be clear. And no one, this is the thing too, like you're on social media, right? So no one wants to think more than they already do. Like I come on social media a lot of times to numb out, to be entertained. I do like to come on and learn new things. But if I'm in that zone where once again, I'm just like numbing out and I'm just stuck in the scroll, I need to see a scroll stopping headline for me to kind of wake up, right? And go, oh, wait, I need to read this. All right. So when it comes to like writing, write clearly, write like you speak so that they can easily understand this topic that you are presenting to them. Okay. Ideally, we want these people coming back over and over and over again to watch your videos and to consume more of your content. So please do your best to use terms and language that your ideal client understands right now. Once they're in your coaching container, you can explain what these words mean, or even inside the post, you can explain more. But that headline can't be something that they can't immediately grasp. So you know this, content is one of the many things that I help my clients with, okay? I have so many templates, scripts, prompts inside my digital courses to just really make sure you really understand how to formulate a post and formulate a compelling and intriguing headline. It's so important to me that you are creating content people will actually watch and read. So if you're having trouble figuring out how to create compelling headlines or even what to post, likely it's one of two things. You don't know your ideal client well enough, or your brain just hasn't started to identify as a marketer. Okay. And if you don't know your ideal client well, it's actually pretty simple. I want you doing more market research. Okay. So getting on calls with people that you would consider ideal clients. So talk to them. What are their struggles? Okay. What are their challenges right now? What are their wants? What are their desires? Do your research. I make almost all of my clients do these market research calls because not only does it build your confidence just talking to people on a phone call, but it helps you really understand who your ideal client really is. It's a great way to get headline ideas, learn more about why they would or wouldn't buy your offer. And like the most important one is like, where are they hanging out online? Right. So it's a very like informal call that I would always recommend if like you're having trouble really understanding who this ideal client is, get on these calls. Okay. And if you aren't feeling like a marketer just yet, no worries. No one does when they first start their business. Okay. I'd suggest diving into persuasive copywriting techniques. Okay. This is definitely something that is inside my courses, stuff I help my clients with inside private one-on-one coaching. But you ideally want your content to move someone to take an action. You want them to read it and then follow that call to action. All right. So that might be to like send you a DM, click the link in your bio, apply to work with you, book a free call, whatever that is. Okay. A really good copywriter gets someone to read something and then they go, I need more of this. I need her to help me with this. I want her to be the one to coach me through this. You want them to take an action. Okay. So before I end today's podcast episode, okay, I want to remind you that the more that you do this, so the more that you create content, the easier it does become. Okay. You also find out what is easiest for you. Okay. The more that you do it. So you might like video. You might think, oh, this is so much faster. I can literally just put a phone in front of my face and talk about XYZ for, 90 seconds. To be quite honest, like you won't know until you try. Okay. And if you don't like writing content, right? This is like, oh, I don't like writing content. Then maybe video is your thing. But if you're like, I love sitting at my computer and writing blog posts and creating like actual written pieces of content and long form content, then hey, have a photo and, or have carousels and just create a really nice caption. Okay. But if that's not for you, like I said, video is great too. And you can do a mix of all of these. Okay. I do a mix. So if you go on my Instagram right now, there's videos, there's long form content, there's carousels. I have all of the things. And not every post, this is something I feel like I need to say, not every post is going to be epic. Okay. Just trust and believe that your content is always working for you. And I'm going to tell you this once again, like I will be hosting a free content creation workshop within the next few weeks. Okay. So please follow my story so that you can register for this. And I will be posting about it very, very soon. So make sure that you are following me on Instagram. Okay. And also, lastly, I do have a few spots left for one-on-one coaching this month. So content creation is definitely one of the things that we will be focusing on. I have so many resources and tools for you to think like a marketer and be a master at those compelling scroll-stopping headlines, okay? I do provide you with a full step-by-step on how to find and sign clients on social media. And I know to excel and to get results faster in your business, learning how to sell and market yourself is key. And this is really for your benefit so that you can sign clients for yourself each and every month. I want you knowing how to do that. So click the link in my bio to schedule your sales call with me this week. All right. Well, that is it for today. Thank you so much for listening and happy selling. Thank you for listening to the Ambitious Coach podcast today. A couple favors before you go. If you found this episode helpful, please take a screenshot and share it on Instagram. Most importantly, don't forget to tag me at Allison Henderson _coach. That's ALLISON Henderson_coach. And lastly, please take a minute to rate this episode and leave a raving review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you tune in to listen. Okay, ambition is great, but it's time to get to work. Take action and commit to being 1% better every day. Once again, thank you for tuning in, and I will see you again next week.